Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I've been reflecting on something. We've all heard the statement that is attributed to the Chinese, as it's called, the Chinese proverb, that the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago or 20, and the next best time is now. That statement keeps me thinking about the value of time. Someone said the reason time is the most valuable asset. It's the one thing that you cannot get back if you lose. Now, we've talked about the necessity of being ourselves and the fact that we are created for a purpose and that we must live it out. But I've met many that think they're too young and there's still more time. Interestingly, I've met those who are saying they're too old and there's no more time. The question is, what then is the answer? The answer is we must do what we ought to do and do it now. If it's worth doing, it's worth doing now. But I think the challenge then is, again, when we hear that, we think that it means I must start and be big immediately or as soon as I start. My belief is this: start small, think big. Don't lose sight of that big dream, yet you must do something about it now. Sometimes it's just thinking about it, getting it out of your mind and writing it on a paper. That's what it takes sometimes. Remember in the book of Habakkuk, when God is interacting with Habakkuk and says, look, I will give you this vision, write it down. He doesn't say, I want you to begin serving or implementing it or executing it. He simply says, write it down. That might seem like something simple, but that's how these great ideas have started. That someone sat in their room and began to envision, began to imagine things, and it's the big things that we see today. What's the point I'm making? Time is of the essence. You never get it back. But also let me mention something about the value, the necessity of the urgency. I think there's this belief that we have a lot of time ahead of us, and I keep asking people, for how long are you going to live? That's the one thing that God has denied each one of us. We do not know when. Now, because you don't know when, then you better be careful to utilize the time that you have now. The Bible tells us about saving time. Save time. Save the time because the times you're in are evil. That's what it says. But the point there being, there's need for your purpose to be served. And that is the reason why something should be done now. The value of time cannot be overemphasized. I remember from my personal story that in 2014, I was 26, and I was thinking of starting a business. And I kept thinking, we will start. And I spoke to a gentleman, Patrick Bitature, among the many that we spoke to. And he told us, guys, you have every right to start working on your dream. And in that case, it was the business we were planning to start. And he says, you can start it anytime in the future, or you can start it now. But here's the thing. Any time that you take away from before you start, you're eating away from your dream. Those are his words. You're serving someone else's dream and you're eating away from yours. 8 years down the road, it's unbelievable that we've moved 8 years. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, I could have remained employed. I could have remained serving other people's dreams. But that would mean 8 years later, 8 years late compared to where we are today. What's the point I'm making? There's value in every second. There's value in every minute. There's value in every hour, every day, every week, every month. That's the reason why when we end the year, we begin to set resolutions for the next year. Because on this part of eternity, everything is measured in terms of time. I'll just end with this. The Bible speaks of the sons of Issachar who knew the times and the seasons. There's no success, there's no significance, there's no impact without the value for time. Think about it.